Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a fun-looking puzzle by Nurator. I don't know if this one's going to come out before another one I did of theirs, but what I kind of just say what I said. The other one is kind of looking back at some setters who we've done puzzles of before, but haven't seen in a little while. So Nurator is one of those. They tend to have fog of war puzzles, at least a decent amount of them are, and they're usually more on the difficult side instead of the more gentle walk in the park as some of the fog of wars can be once you get moving. But that said, let's jump into this one, see what's going on with it, and we'll go from there. So let's see if I can say this backwards. ecnalaB cimsoC is the name of this, or if you read it the other way, in a mirror, you'll get cosmic balance. The rules are as such. The normal Sudoku rules apply, so every row, column, and 3x3 box will contain the digits 1 through 9 once each. The grid is covered in fog. If you hadn't noticed, placing correct digits reveals clues in the surrounding 3x3 area. So this is normal fog rules. So if we were to figure out what this digit is, all of these would clear of fog, and hopefully there would be more clues to work with. Now we've got digits in gray squares are even. We don't see any gray squares right now. They must all be covered in fog. But whenever we uncover a gray square, we will know that it's even. Adjacent digits to white/black Kropki dots differ by a value of 1 or / a factor of 2. So they're just putting the black Kropki into a condensed thing. So we have a black Kropki, so these two digits are on a 2-to-1 ratio, i.e. one of them is double the other one. And if, say, there was a white Kropki between these two cells, those must be consecutive digits. Now I've got digits in big white circles, i.e. quads, must be present in the surrounding 4 cells. So look at this guy, it's the most uncovered. The other ones are much more modest, I guess. But we're going to know that in these 4 cells, because of this clue, there are the digits 1, 3, and 5, and maybe some other digit that's hidden by fog. Then we've got galaxies. So we haven't done galaxies in some time here. So we'll go through those in the rules here, and then we'll might get into a little bit more detail on the solve side of it. But spiral galaxy. Divide the grid into galaxies, which are orthogonally connected groups of cells that have 180-degree rotational symmetry about their centers and do not overlap with other galaxies. All cells must be part of a galaxy. All galaxies are of size 3 or 4. That's interesting. Okay, so it's giving a limitation to galaxies. So what's it saying is, let's say we had a galaxy that did this. There would be a central point right here on this line, and this thing could rotate 180 degrees and still have the same presence. So it would fill these same cells, even in 180 degrees. This would do that same thing if this center point was right here. And they're saying that we only have 3 or 4 size galaxies. So that's going to reduce what our galaxies can be, how big they can be. Now we have Rellik galaxies. I don't know what that necessarily means, but let's find out. The digits in each galaxy do not repeat, and no combination of the digits sum to 18. Oh, I think we did something like this previously. Rellik cages or something. That might have been one of the other Nurator puzzles we did. I can't recall back to that point, but I do remember something like this. So essentially it's going to mean that, again, if we have a galaxy like this, none of these digits will be repeating, and none of them can sum to 18, or any combination of them. So you couldn't have like 9, 8, 1, 4, because 9, 8, and 1 will add to 18. Now, the final rule here is all galaxies are centered around a clue. Okay, so even, square, Kropki dot, quad, all clues are centers of a galaxy. So that's meaning, which is very nice here, that these 4 cells are going to be part of a galaxy because the quad is the center of the galaxy. On this, these 2 are part of this galaxy, plus maybe some more, because this black Kropki is the center of the galaxy. and every galaxy is going to have one of these clues as its center. So there we go. Those are all the rules. Nothing crazy. Like I said, we haven't done galaxies in a while. We haven't done this Rellik type of clue before, or rule set before either. So let's have a little sip of coffee and get started on this puzzle. And almost choke on it. Link is in the description below if you guys want to try this as well. Let's get started on this. It seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. So, what do we know? Well, for galaxy puzzles, I find it's best to use some sort of coloring scheme. Now, the only thing with Fog of War and coloring is that if we put color up, we're kind of obscuring what the fog is. So I think what I might do is instead use lines to determine, and I'll do different color lines so that they stand out. We're going to know all of these quads must be their own galaxies, because they will be, the galaxies again can only be size 3 or 4, and the quad essentially states that those will be by themselves. We know this is a galaxy here. I'm going to reuse green because it's far enough away. This one we know is going to be a galaxy. Let's use the purple because it's far enough away. And we're going to know that these two are a galaxy. In fact, we're actually going to know more than that, because of the rule that says they have to be size 3 or 4. Well, if we know this is the center point between these two, and we have to at least get to 3, we have to expand. And if we expand once, we have to expand twice to maintain our rotational symmetry. So therefore, this is a galaxy. Let's do this. That should be good. Now, we're also going to know a couple of things about these guys. Well, maybe not this guy per se, but this guy is its own galaxy, because we have to fill up every single cell in this puzzle with a galaxy. Now, there's no way to make this rotational in symmetry other than having these 3 cells, because the second you go down here, we've just ruined rotational symmetry. So 3 cells is all we can do. I'll use blue on this guy. Yeah, I think this lines are going to work out just fine for these. Okay. Let's think further. Now, we might have to get into some coloring, and I'll try to be sparse with it, because we know, well, we don't know too much about this, but we know these two are part of a galaxy. Now, they could be a 4 spot, they could be a 3 spot, they could be a 4 that does this, because these all have rotational symmetry. This guy is at least 3. It might just be 3, or it might extend to a 4th one. We don't quite know. Okay, now let's think, because I don't think we have here we know this is part of a galaxy and it must at least get out here. We can put that in, but I think we're kind of at the point now where we can probably actually, yeah, I think we can say this has to be a galaxy down here, but I don't want to get too much into the conjecture just yet, because I don't want to miss out on something. But I do think this is probably going to be a galaxy, because I don't see how you could ever split this corner up in some way and maintain it being 3 or 4 cells and having rotational symmetry. So, but anyway, let's think about something else. This quad here, we know it has a 1, 3, and a 5 in it. The 1 is not here, so it has to go up here. Now, the 1, 3, and the 5 add up to 9, so there cannot be a 9 in here, because we'll go up to our sum of 18. Now, I don't know if I really want to go all in on that, because any of these could be that 9. What else? We know there's an 8 in here. That gets us to 9, so we can't have a 9 in here either, because 9, 8, and 1 adds up to 18. Again, I don't know that I want to start putting those digits in yet. 2 and 7, so we're at 9 already. Again, we can't put a 9 in any of these, but we could very well put a 9 in any of these. Okay. Now, what more can we say? Okay, here's something we can think about for this guy here. We know the center of each galaxy has to be a clue. The three clues that we can use are the even square, the Kropki dot, and the quad. We cannot put a quad or a Kropki dot in this cell. So this just has to be an odd digit. Now, is that super useful? I don't know, but we know it's not a 1, so it's 3, 5, 7, or 9. Well, actually, we know it's not 7, because this little clue says 7. Now, oh, sorry, this is even? Oh, they're even squares. Sorry, I read odd for some reason. These are 2, 4, 6, and 8, and it's not 2 because of this 2. My bad. Got an even square, not odd circle, sorry. What more can we do? Let's think about that. We know none of these are 1s. Is there any way to say anything about where the 1 goes down here? If it has a 1 in it, it would be 2, 7, and 1 would be at 10. We wouldn't be able to put an 8 in any of these, but that's not really a big deal, so I don't know that we can say much about that for now. Okay. What is next on the list of things to look at here? Now, we can't say anything about the center of this guy or this guy because we don't know the extent of them. So this could be a cell here that is the center, or it could be a Kropki between these two. We don't know. Well, I guess one thing we can say is that any irregular region or galaxy that isn't a 2x2 square will not have a quad in it. Okay. Let's think about galaxies more. And I'm confusing myself with what this can be. It has to be 3 or 4 cells, which means it would have to at least get in. This can't go in here, so these have to be part of a region. But that breaks this. Because this can't be 180-degree rotational. So how the heck does that work? I think the only way this part is not broken if it's a galaxy, and these can do whatever it wants down here, but then this breaks. Oh, no, it's not. I did make a mistake. Okay, we'll go back. I didn't use anything from it. This is not accurate. Because if it is, it breaks this puzzle. What this is actually going to be is this. I didn't see that as an option. So let's get rid of this coloring too, because that's not accurate. But, okay. Now let's look back at all of this stuff. We know these are part of a galaxy. So the question is, how do we make these work? Well, I think the only way is that these 3 are going to be their own galaxy. What color? Let's use yellow. Because we have to at least have 3, so it has to go here, and we cannot ever go out either side because it would break the symmetry. So this is a galaxy. Now, the only way to make this part of a galaxy and work is if it does this. So we're going to have to... Let's see how this works. That should be fine. And like we said, now this has to be the center of the galaxy. It has to expand, so it has to get out like this. Go away. And this now has to just be a 3 cell. So we'll put a little color around it like that. Okay. We're back to... Okay. We can continue, actually. We know this has to get out. We know, actually we don't. This could do some, no it can't. It cannot do this, now that we think closer, because there's no way to make these work. So this just has to come down like this. And if it comes down like this, this has to come down as well. And therefore this is a 4 cell and this is a 3 cell. Let's put those in. Oh, didn't mean to do that. This 4 cell, where the heck did my mouse go? There it is. These guys like this, and this like this. Now we're going to know that this is at least 2 cells. It's going to either be a 3 or a 4. We don't quite know yet. Okay. Now, what can we do here? Again, this is going to be part of a galaxy, but we don't know what it does. It has some options. This guy, again, we don't know what it does just yet, because it could still do something like that, or it can now do something a little bit straighter. Alrighty, so we've got some information. We've got to figure out a way to make it work to give us some actual digits. How are we going to do that? That's a good question. Again, we know one of these is 9. We know one of these is 9. We know one of these is 9 because of our negative constraint of 18. Is there really anything we can do with this thing? I don't think there is. This black Kropki. Because no matter what we put in it, 1, 2, 2, 4, 4, 8, or 3, 6, it doesn't really negatively affect anything. And knowing that it's 4 cells, there's any of those values we can avoid summing to 18. I guess we know that there's a Kropki between these 2 cells. I wonder how we want... We can't do circles on lines like that. I was hoping we might be able to do that. We know there is a Kropki here. We don't know what it is, though. We know there's a Kropki here. We don't know what it is. We know this is an even digit. 2, 4, 6, and 8. What else do we know? This is an even digit. 2, 4, 6 can't be 8. This is an even digit. 2, 4, 6. It can be 8. Again, Kropki, 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 even digit, even digit, even digit, even digit. All right. So we've got ourselves to a point of what? That I don't quite know. Can we start thinking about those 9s? Not really. Because we can easily put a 9 in here, and any of the options we can make the 3rd digit not get us to 18. Same with this one. Same with this one. So what do we have here? And we don't know anything about these guys, because their little corners that are sticking out do not have digits in them. Okay. How are we gonna figure this out? It's a good question. don't know. Don't really see the next step here. Don't know what this one does so we can't really say much about it. Can we figure anything more out? I don't think we can, because again, we could do this, or we can do this. It's a lot of options to try to work through what can occur. Now, yeah, we can't really, or can, no, because we can't. Let's say this would be difficult to do, but then we can just make this a 3-cell, and this is all filled in easily. Again, we know this does at least this. We don't know if it extends to here. We know this guy gets out. Let's use this color. We don't know what he does after that. This guy here has to be part of its own galaxy, none of these other ones that are around it. But what does that say? Now, if it were to expand over here, we would know it would have to be a 4. And there would be a quad in the middle of it. But again, we can't necessarily say that. What am I not seeing here? Think. What other things can we determine from any of the information that we have? We've got to be able to use something in one of these things to get us going somewhere. Otherwise, they wouldn't be uncovered. I mean, it feels very close to being where the 9s are getting pushed out to something, but I just don't see how you can ever, at least not the moment, again, determine that a 9 couldn't go in one of these galaxies. So let's say we put a 9 here and we have an 8. Well, that wouldn't work, but, well, yeah, it would work because we have 9 and 8. We can't ever put a 1 here, but we wouldn't be able to anyway. Things like that. So what the heck is this? Again, there's just nothing we can do with these yet. There has to be something we can open up to get ourselves moved. I haven't missed anything, have I? Just want to make sure. Nope. Okay. Can this have the 1 in it? 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it can. Wouldn't see why we wouldn't be able to do that. Huh. I say 9. It would be really nice if we could rule out a 9 from here, because that would set the 9s off. We would know there's a 9 here, so therefore there's no 9 in here, so this would be a 9. Then we would know that this is a 9, etc. Or even knowing if this was a 9 would be helpful, because we'd say 9's down here, therefore this is a 9, etc. Does that... Let's think of that. Maybe that's what it is. In either situation, I think we said this was a 9. We know we can't put a 9 in here. So it either goes here or here. If it goes here, there's a 9 down here, and this is a 9. If it goes down here, this is the 9, and this is 9. Okay, well, that's an interesting one. I don't know, yeah, that was not something I was even thinking on would work, but then as I just started to go down the road, it worked out. So, we know what these are. This is 1 then. And I'm going to get, well, I'll keep that because the fog is cleared. This is 2, 5, 8, and 7. Therefore, this is not 8. Okay, what are these then? We've got 3, 4, 6. That's it, 3, 4, and 6. These are not 3s. So one of these is, so none of these are 3s. So one of these, well, it's 1 here. Let's get that. This is a 2. These are not. There's a 2 up here, which means these are not. Good. Making a little bit of progress. Again, we said one of these is a 3, one of these is a 3. We have the center to a galaxy. Good. That means this has to be part of this. Let's put him in first. It has to extend. Now we know it doesn't go out this way. So it must come here and end. So we'll color that in. Oop, this is the wrong color to use too. Let's use blue. So it does this. This is even 2, 4, 6, 8. We'll just put it in for the moment. And get back to what we're doing. So we know these are 6, 7, and 8 now. 3, 4, 6. These can't be 6s. This is. This is 4. This is 8. That's huge. These are not 8s, so there is an 8 here. Good. Now we know what these are. 1, 2, 3, and 5, and I'll remove the options that we already had removed. Good. This can't be 1, so that is a 3, 5 pair. Means this is a 1, 2 pair. This is then a 2, 7 pair. So we can get rid of a lot of this stuff now. Good, 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 good. I like where this is going now. In the row, these 2 digits are what? 5 and 9. So therefore this is 5. This is 9. This is a 3, 9 pair. These, okay, so we were right that this was a Kropki, and now we know it's the black Kropki. So what are these options? We need 4, 6, and 7. That's correct. This can't be 7. Good, good, good. Now we must have some negative constraints. I guess we don't, because this is 17. All it says is this can't be a 1, but we know that. These are 3, 4, and 6. Those are 13, so that's fine. We don't quite know what this guy does. Oh, actually we do, because of this guy. We can say this is a galaxy and a center of a galaxy, so this has to do this. So let's get rid of that coloring. Let's put new coloring in. Now we know these are equal to 12, so this can't be 6. Now I don't know how wonderful that is, but we need to just remember that this can't be a 6. This can't be 6 either, by the way. Good. What else? 4 here means this is either 2, 8, and the 6 would make it 3. Good. These guys, we don't quite know. All we know is it's just not a 1, 2 pair at this point. Okay, here we go. This 5, 4 equals 9, so this can't be 9. This is 3 and 9. Now we're getting a little bit of information in here. We have a 7 and a 9 in this galaxy. Oh, this galaxy we can determine as well. Let's use yellow. It must do this to have any type of rotational symmetry with the way this thing is working. We don't quite know. This could do something like this, or it could just come down. Okay. All right, is there anything else that's just staring at us that we can do? I want to make sure. Okay, before we start thinking elsewhere, let's start thinking elsewhere. So what can we say? We've got a 9 here, so these can't add up to 9. Not really the greatest of reductions there, is it? We said this can't be 6. Can there be a 6 in here? Yeah, it looks like there can. What we do know is that since this is a 9 and 7, we can't put a 2 in here. Again, I don't know how helpful that really is, but it's there. Any other negative constraints? Can we think about this guy further then? If this was a 3, 6, that's 9. These just wouldn't be able to add up to 9. If it was a 2, 4, we're at 6. These couldn't add to 12. And if we have a 4, 8, we just can't add to 6. So nothing spectacular there. 2, 4, 2, no. I was wondering if we had any kind of digitry on here, but maybe we can continue on this guy now. We know it's not 1, 2 because it would break this. So 2, 4, 8, or 3, 6. 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. There we go. We'd make sure it's right. 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. Yes, that is a quintuple, which means this is 5 and 3. And this has to be 1 and 2. Now, these two digits are the remainders of 7s and 9s. So we know these two are 7 and 9, so they are 16, so they can't have a 2 with them. So that's out. So the 2 is in one of these. We're getting a little bit of information here. That's good. 9s, one of these is a 9. We can't necessarily say it's up here because the 9 could be over here. Okay, what further can we do with this? The 3 has to be in one of these as well. So we've got a 2 and a 3, which means one of these is a 3, 6. The other one is a 2, 4. Therefore, this is 8. Perfect. These are not 8s. We don't know which one is the 3, 6, which one's the 2, 4, but those are the only options that would have worked in this situation. All right, now we have a 7, 9, 7, 9. So we're going to have an X-wing in 7s and 9s. This can't be 9. And the 7, 9 here says this is the 7, 9 on this side, and this is the 7, 9 on this side. Therefore, this is not a 7. This is. We're clearing out spaces. It means we're doing things correctly. Thank goodness. Okay. Okay, so we were proven correct on this galaxy. This is some grouping of digits that are consecutive. All we really know is that's not a 9, 8, or an 8, 7, or a 7, 6. What else we got? Okay, so we know what these are. They're 10. So these two cannot add up to 8. Is that useful in any way? 2s and 3s have to go in here. So this was a... I don't know if we do have much to go with on there. I just want to think about that for a second. What about these 9s and 7s? Let's think about those. Again, we have a 16. We can't ever put a 2 in any of these. These can't be 2s either. So one of these is a 2 is what that's saying. I don't know that that's super useful. What else we got here? Don't have a whole lot of info here. I don't think this is gonna do too much for us at the moment. The 8. Okay, where does the 8 go in this column? Cannot go in any of these. This is 8. We're getting more clearance here. We know there's an 8 now in here as well. We know there's a 4 in here. That's good because it sees the 6 and 4. That 4 is going to see the 2. These are no longer 2s and 4s. So that is the 3-6 pair. We know this is 12. So this can't be 6, but that doesn't really do much for us. What about let's just think about what these digits are, and then we'll remove options if we can. We need a 1, we need a 4, and we need a 5. We know these are 9 and 8, so we can't ever put a 1 here. We said these are 12, so we can't put a 6, but that doesn't matter. What are these digits? We need 2, 3, and 6. Therefore, this is a 2-3 pair. That means this is 6. Good. We're going to know what these 4 digits or 3 digits are. I can count. We've got 1, 4, and 5. Is there negative constraint here? Because currently we know we have 9 and 7, which is 16 again. We just can't put a 2. We know there's a 9 and a 4 here, which gets us to 13, so we can't have a 5. These are not 5. Therefore, this is, and that clears. Good. Love to see it. It means we're doing things correctly still. Now, we know that this galaxy is a 3-celler because this is a central clue. So let's put it in. We know this is an even digit. I can talk. It's not 4 or 6, so it's 2 or 8. It can't be 8. It's just 2. Perfect. What are these 3 digits? 1, 6, and 8. And this is not 8. Can we do the same thing with our negative constraints up here? We know this is an 8, by the way. We can also look down here, but let's just stay up here for a second. We know we have 9 and 7, so we can't have a 2. Doesn't much matter. We can't have a 1 because we have a 9 and an 8. So that's 17. We can't have a 1. This is a 1. Good. We can get rid of these, and we've got more information now, so we can come back. Well, let's get rid of the coloring and go back to our lines. We know this has to be a zigzag because this is the center. So it, not you, it does this. That's good. Was there anything we could do here? There isn't, because this is equal to 7, so this can't be an 11. What else? What about you? Did we get anything more over here? No, I don't think we did. We just ruled out the 1, but that was it, right? Because we had, yeah, the 9 plus the 8, 17. Got it. Is there anything else here, actually, that works? If we have 8 and 6, we're at 14. We can't have a 4. This is 5. Okay. Just didn't finish the thought there, but we got to it eventually. Alrighty. What about you? Can we figure out the 1-4 pairing? These are not enough to get us anywhere. This total is 11. So we can't have a 7. We said these were 12. This couldn't be 6. So, okay. What else can we say? Can we do anything with this guy? Oh, wait, this 2. It says this is 4. That didn't really do much for us, but what about this? Because it's a 9-4 pair, so we're at 13. We can't put a 5 in here. Just tells us one of these is a 5. But this can't be a 5, because it would have to be paired with a 4 or a 6. This isn't a 5 as well. So one of these is 5. It's good how that worked out. The 4 comes back and sees the 1 and the 4. Good. Alrighty. Where's the best place to look now? Do we want to start here? Because we're ruling out 1 and 2. But it could be 2, 3. Is that all we can do? We can't do 1, 2, because we already have a 1 in the galaxy. We could do a 2, 3. This would be the 3. Oops, this would be the 3. This would be the 2. We can't do 3, 4. We can't do 4, 5. We can't do 5, 6. Can't do 6, 7. Can't do 7, 8. Can't do 8. This is a 2, 3 pair. 2, 3. That's going to come over here and give us 2 and 3. Perfect. We are clearing out more space, and we know a little bit more about the galaxies. Green. This is now a galaxy. This little thing here, because this has to be the center point, and it has to contain this digit. Let's think about what these can be, because we can do something here. This can't be 1, 2, and it can't be 3, 6, and it can't be 2, 4, so it is 4, 8. That gives us the 7, 8. Good. Now we should be able to fill in some of these middle pieces, and maybe we'll get some negative constraints as well. One of these is a 1, first off. The 5. This is a 5. We need a 5 in the column. Can't be here or here. It goes here. That gives us the 1. That gives us this as a 7, which gives us 9 and 7. Wonderful. This is a given digit of 6. We're getting more information. We'll come to that in just a second. What are these 3 digits? 3, 5, and 9. 5, 9. This is 3. 6 and 3. These are not 3s, so let's get rid of these markings. The 5, 9, 6. Oh yeah, 6 does see this. 8, 6. It's great to clear all this stuff up while we can. Let's make sure the 8 here gives us 4 and 8. Good. The 4 comes back to give us the 1 and the 4. Perfect. All right, let's jump back into our Sudoku, or our galaxies is probably the better. Let's do blue. We know this is the center of a galaxy. It must include this bit, so it does this. I think there's only one way this works is to do this, but let's look elsewhere for a moment. What about you? Because you are a galaxy, and you guys add up to 12. No, we just remove a 6, okay. Is there any other negatives in here? What are you guys equal to? 17 just means this can't be a 2. We already know that. What is this digit? Could be 3. Can't be 1, can't be 2, could be 3, can't be 4 or 5, can't be 6, could be 7, can't be 8 or 9. So it is reduced quite a bit. What are these 3 digits? Because we have most of what's here already. We need a 1, a 5, and an 8. This is not 1. Anything else looking down? Not necessarily. Just making sure here. Okay. With this being a 5 or an 8, does that do much for us? This could be a 7. Could be a 6. Can't be a 4. So those are the only options, because if it's a 5, it's 6, not 4. If it's 8, it's 7, not 9. Okay, there's probably some combination of these that it can't be, but let's move on to this guy, because we know this is the galaxy. It can't have a 1, 2, it can't have a 3, 6, so it has from 2, 4, and 8, and there must be a 4. So this isn't 4. Oh, actually, this one isn't 4 either, so this just is, and that clears more. Perfect. These two digits now, they have to be from 1 and 2, and that works perfectly fine. We have the center of a galaxy, so we didn't have to make that determination because it's now been made for us. This does this, and we're going to be able to figure out the rest of this too, because the only way these are going to work is if this guy here does this, and this guy does that. I guess we can put a little color on the side here. Let's just do red, because we haven't used it yet. Why not, right? Okay. Now, we seem to have a lot of info in here. Let's see if we can figure out how to finish it. This is a 1, 2 pair, sorry. This is 8. Therefore, this is 5. These are not 5s. Those didn't quite work. Let's see what this column, though, is. We've got 3, 6, and 7 left over. It can't be 3. So it's just 6 and 7. No, we need a 2 as well, sorry. 2, 3, 6, 7 are the options. And this is the only place a 2 can go. That's just the easiest way to do it. This is 2. Okay, good. Now we've got the 3, 6, 7 pairing left over. Let's think about this guy. What can it be? It can't be 1, 2, can't be 2, 4, can't be 4, 8. This is a 3, 6, and we know where it goes. This is 3 and 6. That 6 says 4. And not quite. Keep wanting to see where these things go, and I'm not quite getting it yet. This 5 actually does say this is 9. And this is 5. Good. Now we have 14 in here. We can't have another 4, but we don't anyway, so. What about 4s? Where do they go? In this last region. They can't go in any of these. They go here. This is, okay, the 7 here because of the 3. Then we get the 9, 7, 9, 7. This is a given digit of what? 9. I'm surprised that didn't trip any of this stuff up. What else we got? There's got to be a negative constraint in here, but let's see what we can put into these other digits first and see if there's anything easier. There is. We need a 3 in this row. It goes here. That finishes the 6, 3. This is a given 9. These are from, oh, the 7 saw this 6. These, therefore, are leftovers as 5 and 7. Okay, maybe this negative constraint will, or is there one? There isn't, is there? Because these are only equal to 6, so that doesn't help. What are these all equal to? This was a 6, no, because the 6 and 5 plus 8 gets us to 19. There's going to be a negative constraint in here, and I've just got to find it, I think. Where is it going to be, though? It'd probably have to go through the motions of saying, if this is this, these things all start doing this, and then this becomes something it can't. I don't think there's anything Sudoku-wise here we can do. No, so it's going to have to be this negative constraint. Okay, let's work it out then. Oh, we're up at 50 minutes. It didn't even really feel like it was that long, but here we are. So how do we finish this? Where is it? It's got to be this guy here. The only one that seems to have anything left over. Okay, so if this were to be an 8, well, it doesn't really affect anything because this. Oh, no, wait. No, it doesn't. Yeah. There's no bad combination here that would make this thing break. Oh, duh. I didn't even see it because it blended in with the fog. This is an even. This is 8, 1, 5, 8, 7, 5, 2, 7, 1, 2. There we go. Solve the puzzle. Solution is correct. So that was a lot of fun. It's been out for a little while now. 150 days. Only has 246 solves. So, like I said, it was a bit challenging, but we got through it. Really, this 9 was the key right off the bat. Struggled a little bit once we got to that point, but then thinking about how the 9 would work just opened everything up, and this seemed to kind of move from there. So, really enjoyed that puzzle. Hope all y'all did as well. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.